What's good, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. It's time for a brand new transfer talk. A few things on the agenda today, including a player that is signed for Leeds United but not yet announced. We'll speak about that in a moment. Goalkeeper chat, number 10/number 8 talk as well. And a player that we're interested in is also got interest from another Premier League team also. So let's get into this one because people, I thought over the weekend we were going to be doing a stream together, live stream, talking about the signing of Jacob Biol. Welcome to Leeds United. Go through his quote, see if there's any bingo ticked off there. Big club, wanted to be a part of it, no brainer, all the other stuff that comes with it. But according to Fabrizio Romano and many other places, this deal is done. It's all done. It's all signed. Apparently, he's away on his honeymoon, which is the delay in announcing it. But the time it's taken for this one has been it's been ridiculous, hasn't it? From the negotiation to actually getting this done, it just feels like this has been going on forever. And it just goes like with the kits as well. I mean, historically, we've been late for kits. You see other clubs announce their kits months in advance. Sometimes the clubs wear the kit on the last day of the previous season, and we keep as a mystery for some reason until the last month of the preseason. Don't know what the delay is with that one. I guess the kits will come in due course. But yeah, Jacob Biol, by all accounts, is done and dusted, and we just wait his arrival officially. So when he does sign, we'll go live and we'll discuss it in real time as well. So we'll just wait for the official confirmation of that. Moving on to goalkeepers. Keeping an eye on this one as well in terms of Burnley and Newcastle doing business. Fabrizio Romano reported that Newcastle and Burnley are negotiating for James Trafford. Club-to-clubs talks continue as the deal can happen from July, so expected to accelerate from next week, which is great news because it will mean that Sir Nicholas Pope is available. And just for the people that will say surely Pope is going the other way to Burnley, because that was always the comment that would come back. Well, that's not going to happen. Florian Plettenberg reported this yesterday that Burnley are in full agreement for a transfer of Max Weiss, and he will be their number one. So it's one of those now where Nick Pope has got a lot to think about. Now, we've spoken about this before. His preference would have been to stay at Newcastle. Well, Champions League football. But then reality kicks in, and I've said this before. But now James Trafford isn't going to Newcastle to be backup, and not for the price that they're going to be getting him for. He's going to be given every opportunity to be their number one goalkeeper, and they do want to move on from Nick Pope at this stage for where they're trying to go. Now, Nick Pope, I just don't see how he would settle being a number two. This is a man that ousted like two other top goalkeepers from Burnley to be the undisputed number one. He's been the number one at Newcastle regardless of what's happened. And I just don't know how at this stage of his career he'd accept being a number two. I just don't see it. And this is where now he has to weigh it up and weigh up his options. Leeds United have still got that long-standing interest in him. And again, we haven't heard nothing since the Fofana report of 8 million weeks ago. If Nick Pope is the one to come in, I am all for it. I cannot put my back behind this guy anymore. He's just an outstanding goalkeeper in every area of the game, except for playing out with his feet. But I don't care about that. That's ancillary to me when he does everything else absolutely brilliantly. So if he is willing to come to Leeds United and making signings like Biol, and it has to be more than just Biol, and that's obvious, there is more chance of him coming. Now, will it open up that other Premier League teams may look at him? Sure, they may do that. But if Leeds United, with this long-standing interest, have made it known that he is their number one, undisputed as well, I do think that it can be an attractive project for him as long as we're making the signings we should be making. So it's going to be an interesting one to see where he stands once James Trafford's in the building. It's all well and good with the idea of saying, I'll fight for my place. But once that goalkeeper comes in and then you realize, maybe I'm not wanted here. Maybe Newcastle will kind of push him out as well, saying, look, we've got two other goalkeepers here. It's got to be you that has to leave. That might happen behind the scenes too. So it's going to be an interesting one to see how this plays out. One, I'm not going to spend time on this one, but his name keeps on getting linked to us. But thankfully, I saw there's a link to Galatasaray, and Aaron Ramsdale, could be considering moving to Turkey. And that's all I'm going to say on this one, because I do not want Aaron Ramsdale at the football club. So going on to the main event of the video, which is the thumbnail. Reports over the weekend we're talking about, and Graham Bailey is the one reporting it, that Leeds United will be picking between the two out of Buendia and Gus Hamer. Now, I've made my feelings very clear on this one, but let me just give you the body of what Graham Bailey said. He believes that Farke will sign one of the pair. What we're seeing, he said, what we're seeing in number 10 role is that Leeds are able to be picky. There's no need to jump in with both feet on a Hamer or Buendia. They're weighing up options, but I firmly believe Leeds will sign a 10, and I also believe they're the front runners for those two. It will be one of those, and we know Farke likes both of them. If Villa do have PSR problems, you don't deal with Villa now. You wait until towards the end of the window. And he's right with that, in terms of if you are going to go for Emi Buendia. But I've made my feelings very clear. It's Harmer all the way. I think people like the idea of Buendia, of what he used to be, but that's not Buendia anymore. And listen, he can say all he wants in interviews now about how much he respects Farke and all this stuff. It means nothing to me. I don't care about that stuff. And people will say, well, you didn't respect him enough to join him in the championship when he needed help getting promoted. Fair, but I also understand from the player side why he wouldn't want to drop into the championship. So I'm not even holding that against him. That's got nothing to do with it for me. I'm just looking at the players as we are now in 2025. And if we're having to drop nearly 20 million on one of the two players, it's Harmer all day long for me. Harmer just does way more than Buendia does in this day and age. He presses, he does the defensive work, he's creative, can take set pieces, and he stays fit. Buendia can be a creative force, and there's an argument that if he gets back under Farke, he'll re-energize himself, reinvigorate his career. There is a good argument for that, but I just don't see why we should be taking the risk and spending nearly 20 million on a player that has not been fit for a few years now, and he's not the same player that he was before. If you're talking the Norwich City Buendia, there's more of a conversation for me. Now, some of you, I want you to put it in the comments who you'd prefer to get. Feel free to say Buendia if you want, but I'm going by what I've seen recently. And he hasn't impressed at Villa lately as they've ascended the table. Was good for him at the bottom of half, which is where we will be. But he did not pull up any trees at Leverkusen, where they did not take up the option to sign him. He is not at the mercy of us. I've said it before with Buendia. Let me put him on the screen. We was at the mercy of him last summer when we wanted to sign him. We was kind of at the mercy of him in January when Brendan Aronson started to go quiet at that point. But now we're in the driving seat. It's up to us now. You know, we are in the driving seat if we allow Emi Buendia to continue in the Premier League with Leeds United. It's up to us if we sign him now. We're not begging for Buendia at this point because there's other options out there. And for me, the easy one is Gus Hamer. And even if you look at their stats from, I mean, stats are stats and everything else like that is what it is. But Hamer had a way better return in nearly every department than Buendia did at Aston Villa in his last proper stint there. So just for me, it's a no-brainer. But what you got to think is it is Farke, and he does like his old trusted lieutenants. We've seen that previously. He's been linked to nearly all of them. But if we're going sensibly, if you're going by what we're doing now, it's got to be Gus Hamer. Has to be him. But it's going to be interesting to see if this does come to fruition with one of the two. And listen, just the idea of spending 20 million on Buendia that's strong money. That's strong money for one player. It could be that it could be a loan with a view to permanent move next summer and on certain conditions. But for me, it's a no-brainer for me, Gus Hamer. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, people. And just lastly, just quickly on this one, Gabriel Goodmanson, who we've been linked with, well, Everton have now registered the interest in the player as well as they look to rebuild. So it isn't just us in the Premier League that's looking at him, it's also Everton. And I've seen a lot with the links that we've of players. Everton come up a lot. West Ham seem to be coming up a lot as well, which should be more worrisome for the West Ham fans more than anyone in terms of being linked to players. But yeah, it just seems to be the same kind of clubs that we seem to be shopping in the same pool, shall we say. But yeah, Gabriel Goodmanson, who Leeds United do have an interest in, is also wanted by Everton. And that is it for the latest update, people. I hope everyone's good. I did have a couple days off just because there wasn't really nothing happening. I was waiting for the Jakob Biol stuff. Big thank you to Parrot House and Mr. P for the super thanks on the last videos. Much appreciated, guys. If you want to become a member of the channel, the link is in the description. Till Jakob Biol signs or until the next one tomorrow, people. I'll see you soon. Peace out.